Prelude to the battle. The tensions leading to war. The decade leading up to 31 BC was rife with intrigue, political maneuvering, and betrayal within the Roman Republic. The power struggle that began with the assassination of Julius Caesar evolved into a complex web of alliances and rivalries. At its heart were two key figures: Mark Antony, Caesar's once trusted lieutenant and partner in the Second Triumvirate, and Octavian, Caesar's adopted son and heir. Their alliance had been strained to breaking by both personal and political conflicts, exacerbated by Antony's relationship with Cleopatra VII, the enigmatic and powerful queen of Egypt. Antony and Cleopatra's alliance. Antony's union with Cleopatra was as strategic as it was romantic. She provided him with wealth, soldiers, and a base of power in the east. To the Roman Senate, however, Antony's actions appeared as betrayal. His will, reportedly leaving parts of Roman territories to Cleopatra's children, fueled resentment and suspicion. Octavian seized on this, framing Antony's allegiance as a danger to Rome's integrity and launching a propaganda war that painted Antony as seduced and corrupted by Eastern decadence. The gathering storm. Preparations for war. By 32 BC, open conflict was inevitable. Octavian, backed by Rome's Senate and his loyal general Marcus Vipsanius Agrippa, began preparing for a decisive confrontation. Meanwhile, Antony and Cleopatra amassed their fleet along the western coast of Greece, determined to defend their dominion. The forces at Actium. The combined navy of Antony and Cleopatra was formidable, featuring about 500 ships and numerous infantry forces. Many of their ships were large quinqueremes, fitted with towers and heavily manned. Octavian's fleet, though slightly outnumbered, was more agile and better commanded under Agrippa's seasoned hand. The Day of Reckoning, September 2, 31 BC. Strategic maneuvering. The morning sun on September 2 cast its golden glow over the blue waters of the Ionian Sea, where two massive fleets lined up for a confrontation that would shape the course of Western history. Agrippa's mastery of naval warfare shone as he used superior tactics to outmaneuver Antony's bulkier ships, cutting off their escape routes and employing swift attacks. The battle unfolds as the two fleets clashed. The cries of men, the creaking of timber, and the clang of metal filled the air. The strategy devised by Agrippa aimed to draw Antony's fleet out and fragment it. Cleopatra's squadron, strategically positioned at the rear, awaited the moment to intervene. But as the battle turned against Antony, Cleopatra's resolve faltered. With a sudden change in winds, she ordered her ships to retreat to the open sea, effectively abandoning Antony. Antony's desperation. Witnessing Cleopatra's departure, Antony was caught in a whirlwind of shock and betrayal. His command crumbled as his forces broke apart in confusion, facing relentless assaults from Agrippa's coordinated fleet. Antony chose to break away and follow Cleopatra, leaving his men leaderless and sealing their fate. Aftermath of the battle. Octavian's triumph. Octavian emerged victorious, his fleet having decimated Antony's remaining ships. The capture of enemy vessels and surviving soldiers bolstered his power and confirmed his dominance over the Roman world. News of the victory spread swiftly, elevating Octavian to a position unmatched by any rival. Antony and Cleopatra's flight. Antony and Cleopatra fled back to Alexandria, their fabled city of power and beauty. There, they would try to consolidate their remaining forces, but the loss at Actium had irreversibly crippled their ability to resist Octavian's advance. Their fate would be sealed less than a year later in 30 BC, leading to their tragic end and the annexation of Egypt as a Roman province. The impact of Actium on the Roman world. The death of the Republic. The Battle of Actium effectively ended the era of civil wars that had plagued Rome since the death of Julius Caesar. With Antony's defeat, Octavian eliminated the last major rival to his power. This victory would pave the way for him to be declared Augustus, the first emperor of Rome, signaling the transformation from republic to empire. The legacy of Antony and Cleopatra. While the battle marked the end of their ambitions, the tale of Antony and Cleopatra became one of history's greatest love stories, entwined with themes of passion, power, and loss. Their legacy persisted through art, literature, and myth, casting them as tragic figures caught between their desires and their fateful decisions.